Good evening. My name is Stefan Griego, and I will be presenting on responsibility centers. I do apologize that this wasn't with my original post on Wednesday, um, but here it is. Responsibility centers or profit centers are beneficial to healthcare organizations by having the ability to look at an individual breakdown of revenue and expense, or inflow and outflow, um, through departmental responsibility centers. A great example of this is found on Chapter 7 of our readings. As explained by Baker, and Dworkin, the director of Westside Center can receive individual reports from his ASC manager, radiology support center manager, and rehab center manager. This is all found on page 58 of our readings. From these reports, he will be able to review their individual revenue streams and expenses, then calculate the net surplus or loss for the Westside Center. As we can see, healthcare organizations can use this within their own departments by having their managers focus on both inflow and outflow for their departments. Healthcare organizations can create better budget plans for the departments based on what their managers are able to present. So if they are looking at increasing or hiring new staff, they can use these reports to help justify or explain why staffing is not necessary for that department. To take a better look at this from an up and coming healthcare organization, responsibility center budgeting allows for an organization to better recognize the revenues and overhead costs that are accrued to its operations. This can be found in Vonasek 2011, page 497. A breakdown analysis or cost analysis can be useful in my future as a professional in a healthcare organization in many ways. Understanding the breakdown analysis will allow me to better understand the break-even points when it comes to fixed and variable costs. Having a breakdown analysis will also allow for me to help analyze the relationship of cost, volume, and profit through being able to compute the contribution margin and the cost volume profit, or CVP. I took this example from Baker et al. On page 73. As explained by Oscar Javier Maldonado, cost effectiveness analysis is a strategy of calculation whose main objective is to compare for making decisions about the most efficient solution, cost versus benefits, to a particular problem. As a Christian, I feel like I am constantly analyzing everything in terms of cost versus benefits when it comes to how I react to certain situations, both in my personal and professional life. From Romans 12:2, do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by renewal of your mind. That is, by testing you may discern that is, or what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. We can see much similarity between what is said in the aforementioned biblical scripture and the basic concepts of breakdown analysis, as we have to keep our minds open and always willing to adapt and overcome or renew our mind to better fit an up and coming or changing, ever changing healthcare system in the United States. I hope to be able to constantly think outside of the box when it comes to how to improve inflow and constantly adapt the variable costs, such as influx of patients within my department. Thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to your feedback. Have a good night.